Hey guys, in today's video, I thought that we could discuss what should be a hot topic right now, especially with many of our favorite lolcows making fools of themselves and being called out publicly for their behaviors, which has some of them freaking out. We have spent a lot of time previously discussing why they're hated, but today, let's discuss why they're dated. Why do people want to date them? What could cause someone of reasonable intelligence who is aware of the Lolcows lore to want to be publicly associated with them? Now, we will have to assume that the interested parties are of average intelligence and that they are aware of the DM of which they've chosen to slide into. Is it for clout? If so, why would someone's mental health or physical safety be equated in value to clout? Is it for gifts, attention, or to prey on the weak? Could it be for money or thinking that they can get an easy ride? Or perhaps, might they see something relatable or recognizable within the lolcow and believe that they can fix them? Let's talk about some possible options that could explain this phenomena. First, let's look objectively at some of the behaviors that would prevent someone from wanting to be in a relationship with the women we talk about. The main reason that comes to my mind is the abusive behaviors they all display. Whether it's Amber mistreating her partners, Rosie mistreating her viewers, or Chantal mistreating animals. They each have shown that they do not respect the rights or well-being of others' lives. Another known behavior with the standard lolcow is entitlement. They all behave as if they think they are better and more deserving than the rest of the world. And it doesn't matter how much support they're given or how much sound, friendly, constructive criticism they receive. They won't even give back basic respect, but they feel entitled to be revered. They're also some of the laziest women out there, and they use diagnosed as well as undiagnosed mental health conditions to excuse it all away. In their minds, at least. So what could cause someone to seek out a relationship with an abusive, entitled, lazy person who wants to be worshipped while throwing tantrums and harming others, as the partner is expected to crawl on broken glass and placate their every fantasy just to keep the peace? I'm going to begin with my personal favorite reason. The person seeking out a relationship sees themselves in the lolcow and believes that they can either help the lolcow, heal the lolcow, change the lolcow, or perhaps, if they can't save them, just go on and join them and live freely and chaotically with the lolcow, at least temporarily. I think it's important to consider that these women, although they repeatedly feel themselves breaking rules and in some cases laws, never really seem to face any true consequences. At least not the way we would if we did the same thing. And if they do face a consequence, it's a harmless, temporary grounding, and as soon as it begins, it's like they're out on good behavior. So I can see how someone who wants to live recklessly or wants to feel more free to do and say things that in most of society's arenas would not be tolerated might gravitate towards someone who not only lives that way and gets paid for it, but doesn't face any true consequences for doing it. It is a privilege that some would find very attractive. If someone is a rule breaker and just looking to do and say and behave however they want, why not join those who already do it without punishment? The next potential reason is because the person may pity the lolcow. Whether they've watched them physically deteriorating and believe that they can share their own experiences to reach them, or whether it's because they feel that a positive influence may be all that's needed. I think some potential partners do believe they can aid the person in healing. They want to save the person from the madness, but as we all know, it just breaks down the savior and will result in that person then joining in on the chaos before eventually leaving. I think Beck is a good example of that, and I'll talk a bit more on that one here in a moment. Next, I think a big percentage are people looking for clout and those who are trolling, and sometimes I think it's a mixture of the two. I suppose, in Amber's words, two things can be true at once. There can be a person who starts out trolling, but then maybe small feelings begin to develop. They decide to continue the relationship as they begin to realize that the information they retrieve from these intimate talks can then be used for clout, attention, and sympathy, and it might even make them a hot topic of Girl World. This does describe a couple of Amber's partners, including her current clout-chasing girlfriend. I believe with that one, yes, it is a fat fetish-based relationship. But Emily also knew Amber was a controversial person who could easily be claimed online and used to sell out to the highest bidder in time. And due to Amber's awfulness, most of Girl World would eat up the tea, and Emily would go down in pasture history as just another one of Amber's victims. Many of the people who have shown interest in Amber, Chantal, or Rosie are those who have watched them over the years, or found them through some form of social media that led them to the Lolcows channel. And this not only means that they are aware of the Lolcows reputation. It's as easy as reading comments or scrolling through their content. But they can also see how these women attract attention, commentary, and in some cases even grab fat woman headlines internationally. For a troll or clout chaser, this would be an exciting quest to embark on because the storyline could change at any time. The scripts could be written daily. The chaos could be profound. And the adrenaline rush of seeing their name in video titles would be like seeing their name in lights. Girl World lights, sure, which in all reality would probably just be the refrigerator lights, but for many of them it would still be enough. Of course, there are those who will seek out these women anticipating the desperation and how that desperation will just make them easy targets for fetish purposes. But I do not believe everyone trying to date these women have weight-related fetishes. I actually believe that the vast majority have other motives completely. If we look at the last woman, Danielle, who spoke out about Amber, for example, she said that she had essentially been an Am baby and had watched Amber since the Beck era. I believe, based on Danielle saying that she knew she would never have anything really serious or long-term with Amber, that she probably had a curiosity about someone that she had watched online for years. On a very, very microscopic level, it would be like a fan getting to talk to a celebrity. It would be interesting and exciting at first. And in Girl World, it could also be someone's 15 minutes of pasture fame. I know that Danielle, during the telling of her story about Amber, made the comment, "No one cares about me," meaning that she is an unknown and not a fixed Girl World character of true interest. But I think had she thought that she might garner loads of interview requests from large reaction channels, she might have come out with her story much sooner. There was little real reason for her to even come forward at this time, because Amber is busy eating on TikTok right now, and she's not really the main character anymore due to being demonetized and absent. So Danielle dating Amber or having intimate conversations over the phone with Amber, despite admitting that it could never have really gone anywhere in real life, could have been Danielle seeking out needs from Amber that maybe were not being fully satisfied with her current partner of a decade. Amber is obsessive and she love bombs. She showers people in gifts. She will give her love interests money, and she shows a jealousy and possessiveness that some people may misinterpret as them being viewed as special or important. I think that's what happened with Danielle. I think it began as curiosity and excitement for Danielle to be talking to someone that she had watched online for several years. And I think that Amber was love bombing her and presenting her with meeting certain needs. But the reality is, it was all just surface level. It was just Amber's superficial words. See, Danielle had stated that she knew she could never be with Amber because Amber's lazy and Danielle was active. But to me, that also means that Danielle had at least weighed the possibility of being in a relationship with Amber before concluding that it could never work. So I think that sometimes the Lolcows will try really hard to hook people because they do feel validated by having people desire them or wanting to be their girlfriend or boyfriend or claim them. And the Lolcows don't care that the desire is based on either love bombing or their own plan of using that Lolcow to make a name for themselves. Erica was one that would fit under the troll turned admirers category because although she began her mission as allegedly trying to troll Amber, I think deep down she was seeking the attention she suspected Amber would give her. Anyone who has watched these women for any length of time have an idea of how they operate, the good and the bad, so Erica knew going into this that Amber was specifically attracted to her type and would shower her with nonstop praise, attention, boost her ego, and do what she had seen Amber do with her other partners. I think Erica was bored in her marriage and sought validation from Amber, knowing that Amber would give it out of her own desperation. Sometimes I believe as desperate and lost and clingy as Amber is, there are those who are just as lost and also wanting someone to treat them like no one else exists. Foodie's very similar. She will talk about her partner, and he can be the lowest degree of filth on the planet, but she'll talk about him like he's a deity. And again, many people look at these women and figure out that they're desperate, and it's not just because of their physical shape, but it's because of how they behave and present their mental state to be online. These women make themselves easy targets for all sorts of characters of people, but at the end of the day, none of it is real. It's just clout chasing. It's just another clown wanting attention, money, or to be love bombed. Sometimes it's just the savior complex, but it's still all just a game. Even with Beck, I think when they dated Amber, a large portion of that relationship was Beck trying to save Amber or save the pets. The savior complex can be very strong and can influence people to stay and try in relationships where they should just run. Beck's entire identity became the person helping Amber, the one trying to lose weight with her and motivate Amber, the one who was trying to get Amber to save her life. Beck's identity became Amber's caregiver, but not even all that effort could save Amber from herself. And I think Beck realized the game, what Amber was doing, and knew it just wasn't worth the circus of watching her die for views. So, Beck inevitably left. Amber, Chantal, and Rosie are all broken, hateful, prideful women who will use their fake charm or lies to bait and attract partners. But the ones they attract are more often than not just as bad, playing the same game just for fun, or even worse, setting them up to be the laughingstock when they sell their private details to reaction channels. Very few genuine people will flock to someone cruel and abusive. I think in general, outside of those wanting to save someone, the girls will only attract people just as nasty as they are, with just as many hidden motives. It's all a game at the end of the day, on both sides, I think. We will never see a genuine, caring, and loving relationship from any of them. It isn't possible to have because their character flaws won't allow reciprocation of genuine acts of goodness. They would never be capable of returning it. They are Lolcows for a reason, but there is always someone traipsing around in the pastures looking to cow tip. And that's all it's ever going to be, in my opinion, of course. If you're new, I'm Birdie, and I really appreciate you for stopping by. If you need to reach me, just send me an email. I'll be around. Be safe, be loved, be kind, and know your worth. I'll see you right here next time. Bye for now.